All right, now let's go to the D.C. Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines. And Ian Castleberry joining us for our Major League Baseball update presented today by Blue Mountain Pizza, Main Street in Weaverville. Hey, Ian, how you doing, lad?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hanging in there, buddy. You know, it's a Monday. We're getting ready to roll, but it sure is good to hear your voice. We got a few things to get to. I'm even going to throw a little football question at you because I can't resist. But let's start first, buddy. The Phillies, they sweep the Braves in the NLDS. And Ian, still stunned at this one after barely making it into the playoffs. This is a Phillies team that is playing lights out at exactly the right time. Look out for Philadelphia.
Yeah, the Braves finished, 14 games ahead of the Phillies? But this is what the baseball playoffs are now. When you're going to let more wild card teams in, you're going to put less emphasis on winning the division. Now, granted, the Braves did have a bye in the wild card round, and maybe you could make the argument maybe that having a few days off knocked the Braves off their momentum. They seem to, when you're playing every day and every game is important, and all of a sudden you have 3-4 days off, and the other team's still playing, which Phillies were, also upsetting the Cardinals in the wild card round. Sometimes I think a team can come in kind of flat, but you hope that only lasts a game, maybe 2 games. But really this just comes down to the Phillies' star hitters, especially Bryce Harper, really came through when most needed. Bryce Harper in this series, he batted .500, an OPS nearly 1,600, 2 home runs, 5 RBI, 3 doubles. That's what this series was, is that the Phillies' best players came through and the Braves' best players didn't.
Does this kind of remind you of the run the Braves made last year, Ian?
Maybe. I think I don't think the Phillies have the same bullpen that the Braves did last year, but it could be, yeah. If all of their guys get hot, if Bryce Harper stays hot, they certainly have the starting pitching to do this. I don't know. I think the other team in that National League bracket might be a little more comparable to the Braves than the Phillies, but if the Phillies keep hitting like this, the Padres are certainly going to have something to contend with here. But really, I mean, if you're the Braves, I think you just look, and obviously it's frustrating, and other than Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna, nobody in that lineup hit. I know Ronald Acuna is also taking a bunch of criticism for just standing there in right field when J.T. Realmuto hit that ball into the left center gap, leaving Michael Harris to go after that ball, what was eventually an inside-the-park home run. Everything kind of came together at the worst time in terms of injuries for the Braves pitching staff, too. Max Fried, he dealt with a concussion a couple weeks ago. He was dealing with the flu. Spencer Strider is returning from an oblique injury. Charlie Morton gets knocked out of a game after taking a line drive in the elbow. It's too simple to say that's baseball, but I mean that can be what happens. Everything just snowballs, and especially in a short series, it just came at the worst possible time for the Braves.
Did it ever? And for that pitching staff as well, what happened to that vaunted pitching staff in this series, Ian?
Yeah, again, the starting pitching, I think they dealt with a lot of injuries. Their top 3 starters weren't at 100%, and the bullpen just wasn't as good as it was last year. That was such a weapon for the Braves last year. They had 3, Minter, Will Smith, Tyler Matzik. Matzik not available for this postseason. They weren't nearly as effective. But again, I think you got to give the Phillies credit too. You can say, well, the Braves didn't pitch well. Well, the Phillies really hit well, and they've done a good job. This happened in the wild card round as well. A big problem throughout Major League Baseball is that there's too many strikeouts. Hitters aren't putting the ball in play. But the Phillies, they're becoming tough outs. They're taking pitches. They're drawing walks. They're putting the ball in play. They're not striking out, which really can take a toll on an opposing pitching staff.
It's tough to imagine the Braves, we're not talking about them advancing today. Speaking of advancing, is Ian Castleberry with Barrett Sports Media, joining the Wise Guys for a Major League Baseball update on the D.C. Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines. All right, so the Padres rally for 5 runs in the 7th inning. They beat L.A. 5-3, wrapping up their National League Division Series. And Ian, like the Braves, the Dodgers pitching staff off its game again in the postseason, is in this series as well.
Starting pitching was going to be the Dodgers' biggest weakness going into the postseason, and they got good innings from Tyler Anderson and Clayton Kershaw, but Max Gonsolin just wasn't as sharp as he was in the first half of the season. But much like the Braves, The Dodgers lineup was just nowhere to be seen. Mookie Betts hit 143. Justin Turner hit 154. Really, other than Freddie Freeman, there was nobody who was consistently hitting the ball well. And meanwhile, the Padres, they had excellent starting pitching. Blake Snell, a 1.69 ERA in that series against the Dodgers. Yu Darvish struck out 7 batters in 5 innings. Joe Musgrove struck out 8 batters in his 6 innings. And the bullpen was outstanding. 0.56 ERA. Josh Hader, we wondered about him a little bit during the regular season after he went from the Brewers to the Padres. Worry no more. Josh Hader is back. He's the dominating closer he's always been. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings pitched, 3 saves. And then also you have to look, again, the Padres stars came through while the Dodgers stars didn't. Manny Machado hit 357. Trent Grisham has been outstanding this postseason, batted 308. Jake Cronenworth, 438. I think one thing that's most interesting about this National League Championship Series, people just got cross-eyed about these mega contracts that Manny Machado and Bryce Harper got. Yet they're both playing each other right now for a chance to go to the World Series.
Yeah, how ironic, right? Boy.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they've both played MVP caliber ball this year.
And we know the Yankees host the Guardians tonight. This is Game 5. Winner moves on to the ALCS to take on Houston. Who do you like in this one tonight?
The Yankees should have ended this series already. They won last night, but Game 3, they should have won. They had a 2-run lead, and Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager, made some baffling decisions with his relievers, notably Clay Holmes, their all-star closer. They're dealing with some overwork and some possible injuries there in the bullpen, and because of that, I like the Guardians tonight in Game 5. I know the Yankees are at home, but that comes with a lot of pressure. Unless Jameson Taillon, who is an excellent starting pitcher, and he could well be very good tonight, Jameson Taillon, I think, is going to have to go 5 or 6 innings for the Yankees to have a chance. Now, Aaron Civale, on the other side for Cleveland, he's not as good a pitcher, but he doesn't have to go as far. Terry Francona has almost his entire bullpen ready to go. The Yankees, maybe they can rely on somebody like Nestor Cortez on 2 days rest to come in and pitch an inning or 2 of relief on what would normally be his rest day. But again, Clay Holmes dealing with a shoulder injury. Wandy Peralta has pitched 3 straight games. I don't know if he'll be available tonight. Just because of that, because of the bullpen, I think the Indians are going to come out on top tonight.
Ooh,
I say the Indians, Guardians.
Okay, Guardians. Yeah, we're all still getting used to that. Ian Castleberry plays with the Wise Guys Mondays here, talking Major League Baseball on the DC Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines. Ian, how was it a bye week for your Lions? No emotion either way this week, huh?
Man, I enjoyed my Sunday so much.
I bet you did.
Did a little shopping, saw a movie, came home and saw 2 real NFL teams play with the Bills and the Chiefs. It was a relief. I mean, I was already feeling pretty good about football with Michigan destroying Penn State.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Not having the Lions ruin a Sunday was quite nice.
Indeed, buddy. Hey, man, we appreciate you. You know that, Ian. We'll reconnect next Monday.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Pat.
Me too. Thank you, Ian, so much. That's Ian Castleberry with Barrett Sports Media.